Welcome back, you lovely people. We are back on the house. The section of the roof that we've sort of got to the point where we can't do any more until we rebuild it, and we're just waiting for that wood delivery. So this week, I thought I would start with cutting all the windows out and cladding it. A big thank you to this week's sponsor, Surfshark, but more on them later. Slight issue we've had this week might be something to do with Kayla's face. I'll turn you all round so you can see. Come on, honey. Show everybody.
I don't know if I feel comfortable showing 30,000 people my massive swollen face.
Show everybody the impact of facial surgery.
I haven't had a facelift.
I haven't had a facelift. I haven't had a nose job.
No.
Just one tiny little bee sting.
I'll be brave and show everyone.
Oh, there she is. My little munchkin. You are... What, day 2 or 3 in now? And it has gone down a little bit.
It has gone down. It's been a very, turbulent, I think it's about 48 hours.
I still have to say, you're one of the few people where it totally changes your face.
I'll put some pictures up of how it's, changed. Yesterday morning, I couldn't even open my eyes. So basically, we were down at the outdoor kitchen, and one singular bee, I wasn't even at the hives, came and brutally attacked me.
It was a kamikaze attack. It came from nowhere.
Right between my eyebrows. And I was like, oh, that hurt. Obviously, panicked a little bit, but I've been stung
Just a little
before.
bit. You ran about 100 metres in 9 seconds flat.
Ran down to the barn. Happened a few weeks ago and my arm swelled up. So I was like, oh, hopefully it won't swell up. And then my eyes started going here.
Yeah.
And then my face.
Yeah, mid-afternoon yesterday, you had twice the amount of face you had the day before.
I look like I've eaten myself.
As a human being, you were 92% face yesterday.
Yeah. So it is going down, but I am going to be the other side of the camera for the rest of the week, I think, because this is not a
But
vibe.
It's also a bit sore. It's not just because you don't want people to see your face.
It's really sore. I've been
it's
feeling
sore
quite sorry
and
for myself.
itchy and all the horrible things that comes with a bee sting. So yeah. I shall be the other side of the camera, getting a few bits done, and you're going to be producer director for this week.
Definitely. But I put it on Instagram, and I got lots of people saying, please go to the doctor and get an EpiPen, which is booked in, because apparently the more you get stung, the more reactions you have.
I suppose it's only in some people.
In some people, yeah. Which could lead to obviously something really awful and dramatic. So there has been talks of, can we even keep the bees any longer? I don't know.
Well, it'd be really handy.
Any advice?
Any advice? It'd be really handy if people could put in the comments about
back on.
any advice people could put in the comments about whether they've had bees or whether they've had multiple stings and they've got worse. That would be really helpful.
Yeah. But anyway,
that's
my dramas. My drama for this week. Hopefully this face will be gone next week.
Back to the old face.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm excited to see these windows in the extension. I think it's going to change this whole room.
It will. It's going to give it a real perspective of what it's going to look like.
And our samples for the cladding on the outside have arrived. So
yeah, so as soon as we get into a good place, we'll bring them down and then we can go through what we like and how we're going to have it and all the rest of it.
Please get that camera off my face now.
All right, bye.
Bye.
So while we take a break.
So that is where one window's going. The other one's here and the other one's here. It's going to feel amazing because it's been boxed in for over a year now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I could just about hear. Could you pass me my drill and the box of screws that are over there?
Oh yeah, 1 second. Sorry, where was I? So it's been boxed in for over a year now. And yes, we have the samples of wood that have arrived. So we really want to try it out and kind of finish the outside of at least the kitchen.
Yeah, but also the other thing is if we cut the windows out, then I can map it out so I know where the cuts and things for the cladding are going to be, so we don't end up with tiny slithers around the windows and things like that.
Ordering too much.
But I can't tell where they are from the outside at the moment, so I need to get them in.
So it feels like a huge moment to actually let the light back in, and that's a massive part of this kitchen is the big window. Oh, big windows, and then obviously the huge Velux window over there with that insane view.
The huge what?
Huge windows with an insane view, I said.
Did you say the huge Velux window over there?
Yeah, no.
They're Velux windows.
Oh, what's that?
Over there?
Bifold.
Bifold.
Sorry.
I wondered, I was like, where's this extra Velux window? I haven't been warned about this.
It's the bee sting. It's gone to my head.
Literally.
I have to say, Badger's been so kind, even though I've looked like a moomin.
It's like having a cartoon character of your actual wife. You know, when somebody draws it, doesn't look quite right when you go on holiday.
Luckily, I can, yeah, like one of those caricatures.
The caricatures, yeah. So basically, I've each side of the window has got a double leg, and where the top of the window is going, I'm cutting that out so I can put the timber in, and then another short leg from there to the horizontal timber, and that means the weight goes back onto here, so there's no weight on the window. So I've got to take this one out. That's why I'm just putting these screws before I cut through the final bit, putting a few screws either side to hold it still, and then the timber will go in, and then we'll screw it all together, and that means the weight from this section and this one that pushes down will push onto that timber, onto this one, and to the floor, rather than onto the top of the window, and keep the shape so there's no weight pushing on the window.
Okay, great.
That's why I'm cutting that out.
All the weight of our beautiful tiles we've laid.
All right. Nice and dry now.
Yeah, it is dry in here.
So, while we take a break from working, let me tell you about Surfshark, this week's sponsor. We are massive fans of Surfshark. As everybody knows who watches us, we are off-grid and living in Portugal. But that doesn't mean we have to miss out on all of our favourite shows from all over the world, especially the UK where we're from. How does that work? Well, Surfshark is a virtual private network, and you can change your location. Surfshark has over 3,200 servers in 100 countries. You can access and unblock all the libraries on your subscription services. For instance, Netflix. You can access all over the world, so you're not just stuck to your country. It opens up the whole catalogue for you. As you know, we use social media for work. So when we're away, we can still access all of the Instagram music that we usually use for our posts, which isn't always the case. So when you're abroad, you flick on Surfshark, and then you can use all of your normal music for Instagram. So handy. There is absolutely no risk to trying it with Surfshark because you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. So head down to the link below, surfshark.com/thescotters, or use the code THESCOTTERS when you get to the checkout for 4 months extra of Surfshark VPN. Right, I need to head back to the house. But it is a horrific tool and a horrific noise.
Yeah, I might put you on time lapse because it's really horrible to.
Jim Carrey scene where he's got that fake rhinoceros.
What?
When he's in Ace Ventura.
No.
And he's being a detective. He makes a fake rhinoceros. He has to come out of its bum.
Oh.
He's like. This is the location of our new window. Give me a second and I'll make it look more obvious. Anyway, back in a minute.
Yeah. It's like opening the best birthday present ever.
What, me?
Yeah. And my new view. Oh gosh. Every time I see a bee, I absolutely freak out now.
And that will be window number 1.
Yes. How's the view?
Oh, it's just tremendous.
I'm going to come around the other side because I feel like yeah,
It's
I can't see
kind
it
of
properly.
bleated at the moment with the scaffolding and the big hole.
Over
But
the swimming
if you
pool.
go like this, it's just jungle. It's amazing.
So cool.
Right, I need to cut this other side, do more.
Okay, I'm going to come around and see the view. Window number 2 incoming.
Aye.
Yay!
And here I am
Window number 2.
in numero dos janela.
Perfect Portuguese.
Why not? It should be dois or duas.
Deutsch.
No, duas, female. Yeah,
Let's
window
see from
number 2.
here. Amazing.
Just need to get the few pins in there that I've missed and get the header in, screw it all up, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Epic.
So cool.
So cool. How's the view?
Oh, it's like that one, but the other side.
A metre on.
And on.
Wicked,
Right.
well done.
Cut this wood. Big window.
Massive window.
Big window, big view. Look at that.
Amazing.
It's even better from here.
Is it?
Yeah, you need to come and get a scan of this.
Okay. Even with the scaffolding and right in front of you.
Well, you have to look through that.
I'll come up.
Like this, you ready?
Yeah.
So this is the insulation. Then you come near it and you burst through the gap.
Yay!
And there's the view. Look at that. That is our view, which is a big view from a big window.
How poetic of me.
How poetic of me. So chuffed with that.
That is... You're right. It feels different from here. From this
Does.
window. It's been
It's a
closed
different
for
angle.
so long. But it feels amazing.
So good. So while we're admiring this view on this cloudy, showery, sunny day.
It's quite warm though.
It is warm. We should probably have a little update of what Kayla's face looks like.
Oh, thanks.
She's come to sit next to me.
What do you
Oh, she's 82% Kayla.
I feel like I've been in like a big swollen chrysalis,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna come back to. See, there's a bee. Then do you see that?
No, but you are hyper paranoid about them now.
I am super paranoid about them.
Sorry, you were just about to tell us how you were going to turn into a beautiful butterfly?
A beautiful butterfly, but I'm not. I'm gonna return back to being a tired mum of 3 that's building a house, has way too many animals, and a list as long as, I don't know, a ladder.
3 arms.
3 arms, yeah. So maybe not a beautiful butterfly, but I am getting my eyes
It
back.
is so much better.
Does it look like I've had a really savage party?
It does look like you've been up all night. But that's better than looking like you were going to explode.
Yeah. I am feeling very thankful for a bit of bone structure, to be honest.
Have a bit of view therapy. That'll help.
I think it is helping.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm feeling much better. So it's just very itchy.
Right, last push. I've just got to get the header and trimmer in, and then we're ready to rumble.
Amazing. Right. Please still excuse the face. I look really tired, but it's all coming down and I'm feeling much better. So the exterior of the house. It's a massive
decision.
Massive decision. So obviously this is the old stone house. As you can tell, solid granite rocks.
Well, yeah, I mean boulders in places.
Boulders, yeah. And then this is obviously the new extension, the kitchen that we've built attached to the old part of the house. We've got a few options of the exterior of the kitchen. One of them being lime rendering, because we're going to use lime all on these joints in here. So one of our first idea was to render it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So kind of the render would go in the joints and then kind of seamlessly flow into the kitchen exterior. But as it does get super wet here in Portugal, in northern Portugal, all the houses that we've seen rendered go this
They sort of go grey and then they start growing
green and
especially when it rains, the splash.
Yeah, like splashes back
and
onto
it just looks dirty a lot of the time.
Yeah, so we went off that idea. The next option was granite slips. So that's where they kind of cut the front off these rocks, but they're always the newer rocks like this. That you can typically find, and then you, I guess, stick them on. I don't know. Is that?
Well, you just like tiling. You tile them on.
Yeah. So that was the next option. I personally don't like that option, and also, this is a new part of the building, and I want to celebrate the old part, but also celebrate the new part. And I think trying to merge them both together in the same or similar materials, I just don't think would work, like visually.
No, I agree. I think old and new granite, depending on what you choose, is a difficult match.
It's really hard to match it.
So I think you have to match it, or you have to go away from it completely.
Away from it. Then we thought we'll do it the same as the barn, which is raw live edge. Shiplap all the way down. But the barn is that, the workshop is that, and this is, our forever home. And I think it's nice to have kind of the cabin in the woods down there, and then this be the new part of our chapter.
Yeah, I do. I think it needs to be different.
So after lots of research, we have come to the conclusion of using, I'm going to get it confused. Yakishugi. I'm so sorry if I pronounce it wrong, because basically it's a Japanese technique of preserving and treating wood. Traditionally, they would put 3 pieces of cedar in a triangle and burn the wood. And what that does is it protects it against, it's waterproof, it's fire resistant, and it's bug resistant.
Yeah.
And if done properly, it can make the wood last like 80 to 100 years or plus if it's kind of, slightly protected under here.
Which is mad, isn't it?
It is mental. Also, it is eco-friendly and completely chemical-free and breathable. So this house is going to be a breathable house. So it basically ticked every single box that we
Yeah, it ticks
need.
every single box that we wanted for the build, but it also looks different, which is something that we really wanted for that part of the house.
Yeah. Also, I want this part of the house to kind of mirror the woods. So I wanted it to be wood. I wanted it to be horizontal. Is that right?
Yeah.
No, that's horizontal.
Vertical.
Vertical, sorry. So it kind of had a modern twist, but also in the winter it will mirror the woods and yeah, kind of hopefully blend into its surroundings.
Yeah, because they're not burnt so much. Well, some are, depending on the grade of the burning itself, but some remain so you can see the grain of the wood. So it does look like timber, just burnt.
So that was our conclusion, and everything I've read about it is amazing. So we've contacted a few companies in Europe, and 2 of them have sent samples so far. So this first one is Inflamed, which I just love the name of the company. I'm such a sucker. And their quote is perfect infection, which I think basically is this house.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you some of the samples we got. So this is what they look like. I'm sure we'll have quite a few people with opinions of having a black or dark extension, but I think it's going to look really smart.
So what I think we should do is I think we should get all the samples pinned on the wall next to the granite, and then we can have a look at them and go over each one. Because
this other company have sent all different types. These ones are kind of treated. This one is supercharged. You can see how...
Yeah, it's like charcoal, isn't it?
Charcoal it is. But the more charred it is, the better the protection.
The resistance to everything.
The resistance to everything. So yeah, we're going to pin it up here against the granite and just see how it looks. And we would absolutely love everyone's opinion. If you've worked with this material before, if you've got any advice, that would be really helpful because it's the first time we've used it, isn't it?
Yeah.
We did consider doing it ourselves, so burning the wood ourselves, but everything led back to it being really expensive to do yourself and can look rubbish, basically. You've got a Labrador licking your ear.
I know, yeah. Let me turn you. Hello. Hello. Can I help you? Right, should we start with that company? Do you want to pass them to me and I'll...
Well, do you want all of them? Because some of them are...
Yeah, we'll do them all and we can... Yeah, no, we can do them all and then we can see. There might be one you go, actually, you know what? Now that it's up, it looks different. So do you want to do it in any particular order? Should I do it that way? Then you can still read the logo.
So this company is... Oh, I can't pronounce it. Degmida?
Degmida, yeah.
Don't know. They've got lots of different types of wood. So that's spruce, larch, natural larch, grey larch. Anyway, different kind of treatments. It's larch or spruce, basically, this one. What we could do is keep ordering samples. Have a patchwork house. It'd be much cheaper. That's the thing, is this is quite expensive. I think you're in the camera. It is quite expensive, I think. We haven't even got a quote yet.
Not sure about these bluey, washed out ones.
I don't like those. So again, these are
They're
larch and these 2 are spruce. Okay, so here we go. So that is the super charred. I'll just pan up so you can all see. So what do you think?
It's much nicer seeing them out the box than in the box.
Yeah, also we opened them when we were in the barn, so we couldn't really see them in the light.
Yeah,
This one is incredible. It's kind of like,
It's like glistening, isn't it?
yeah,
I like that, but the only thing I don't like about it is it's flaky
yeah.
and it
Also,
comes
I
off.
think
The amount of children that are going to rub their school uniforms against it on the way out.
it's very true.
It's not great.
Also, I do feel like the super burnt ones.
Well, they
look
sort of
like,
genuinely look like they've been in a fire, don't
yeah, which obviously isn't really a vibe around it.
they? No,
I think it's
don't.
amazing, and I think obviously the durability of it
Yeah.
is much higher. But I do feel,
Yeah, I think
a bit much for us.
if we were in somewhere like Denmark,
yeah,
I think it would
like
be
a Dutch barn or something.
barn, something like, yeah, which would be Holland, not Denmark. But I also I don't
I'm
mind the
drawn to
reddy ones,
yeah, up here.
but I feel they're quite like they'll have a date.
Do you think?
I think these
it
things
really-
a bit like these, like I think they'll
Yeah,
look
I don't
nice for a
like the
period
white
of
ones.
time, and I don't really like the paler ones.
They're too stripy. But I feel like the red ones really complement. Sorry about my dodgy camera skills. Complement the red in this granite here, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do, but then that's going back to blending it with the old and new again. I feel like it needs to be this standalone part of the house, which I really like the black ones.
So this is, all these ones are one company. This one is...
And I think I actually prefer the plank rather than the tongue and groove overlaps.
Oh, okay.
Kayla's getting paranoid, she can hear a bumblebee.
I don't mind bumblebees. When you stand out of the light a bit. Oh gosh. Okay, so we come down to these ones, which are the other company. I'm hoping you can see well in the light there. So Badger's more drawn to, what were we saying, sorry?
I'm more drawn to the plank, which is just square edged rather than these overlapped ones. And I think I'd quite like to have sort of them alternating. So you would have two set up similarly to this, and then you would have another one which bridges the gap. So you would do it so they overlap, say 30 mil each, and then another one over the top. So you get one that's proud every other one, which I think looks really nice.
Yeah.
Takes adds a bit of texture to it as well as that. I really like the dark. I think it's really nice.
The thing is the wrap at the moment is half black, and I'm not against it. Like when it was on the barn, I'm not against the black. I just am worried it's going to look too like a black box.
Well, the thing is, this side has got the door in it and nothing else, because obviously we're going to have high cupboards inside. But actually, most of this is hidden by the driveway.
Yeah.
So this will be the most stark sort of black bit. And then round the other side, we've got the bifolds, the big window and the two windows on the end, and then into granite. So it won't be a huge block of black. So I think this will be a block of black, but I don't think it will be too much. I think it would be a real nice statement.
Yeah.
A really nice statement, not real nice.
Real nice. But I think it does work well with the granite. Let us know what you think. I know it's not to everyone's taste.
But nothing is.
But nothing is, yeah, right. That's why we're all different. So yes, it's definitely something to think about, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yes, it's all these builds, you have to think about the end product and work your way back from that. Hence why, we may still have plants growing inside the kitchen and we're talking about the cladding, but it's how everything finishes and works up. So when we get the windows, when we get the cladding, everything's got to work for their tolerances and where they're going to sit. And also, it's something we need to consider now so that we can get it nice and weather tight once we get to that point.
Definitely. And it is, well, we haven't had the quote yet, but, it is a big expense. So it
is a big expense. It's also,
decision.
I also think it's the biggest visual thing that we're going to do. So it needs to be something we need to think about all the way through. And we might change our mind. That's the problem. You never know with these
I'm
things.
pretty set on it.
I think all of its properties put it way ahead of everything else.
Yeah, definitely.
So, treatment-wise, if we had normal wood, you've got to treat it and sand it. And if you can't get to certain bits that are overlapped, those are issues that we might have. But I just think I really like the black, and I think that really just sets off against the granite. I think it's great.
Okay, so let us know in the comments, Team Kayla or Team Badger.
Stick it down in the comments what you think, whether you've got it. Send us some pictures or emails or whatever. If you've got burnt wood on your house, or you know somebody who does, or you know any other properties or any other products that are similar that we haven't thought of yet.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, stick them in the comments. That'd be super handy.
Right, what's the next plan now?
The next plan is we've got to batten it all out, which is going to make it all nice and tight and hold all the felt on while it's windy. It keeps catching it and blowing it off. So that's going to hold it all on. And then we'll get the ridge tiles, which we've got to pick up at the weekend.
Yeah.
And we can start ridging that. And we get the wood delivery, and then we can start building the other roof, and suddenly we'll have a whole roof. We'll be ready for cladding, and we can start on the inside.
Amazing. Exciting times.
Let's get to it.
So there we go. It really feels like it's all coming together. The windows just make such difference. It's really hard to see on the camera, obviously, because of the scaffolding and everything, but we don't want to take it down just yet. We're collecting the ridge tiles on on Sunday, so we can get some ridge tiles on next week, hopefully. So we need the scaffolding up, obviously, for that. But yeah, the windows are just incredible. Well, the holes of the windows. It feels like it's really changed the extension from just like a block attached to the stone house to an actual kind of part of the house, if that makes sense. And then if you come inside, apart from all the insulation, every single window is just popping with greenery. And the light in here has just changed so much. I'm feeling very lucky at the moment to be living here.
Right, you lovely lot, thank you so much for watching this week, and a massive thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. And don't forget to click the link in the description to get yourself some amazing discounts. Loads more happening next week, so don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell. Ciao.